All right, so time for Newsflash, and as you're already aware, Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Now, joining me for the conversation, I have Maxwell Ofosu-Boakye, former Municipal Chief Executive, Swami Municipal Assembly, and I also have, in fact, two of our guests will be joining us via Zoom, but Obed Opintan is the Member Government Communications. You're both welcome to the studio. Then joining us via Zoom will be Austin Kwabna Bracco Powers, lawyer and researcher, and then Dr. Kwame Asante, who is a political scientist from the University of Ghana. So we would want them, or I'd want them to situate the conversation. So before we actually delve into it and get to speak with our guests in the studio, we want to understand what they make of the poll that, or the survey by IEA. I gave you a bit of that on the newspaper review segment, and I have the story here with me. So it just talks about they interviewed a number of people. I believe the poll covered over 1,000 people across 16 regions of Ghana, and then they had a certain set of findings. So we'll get into that in a bit. But before we get our people on Zoom, we can start the conversation in here. And so yes, the Daily Graphic decides to capture it or look at it differently. It says Ghanaians support President Mahama's handling of the economy infrastructure, IEA poll. But then somewhere in the story, then they make reference to the fact that the president's approval rating has slipped from 68% in December 2025 to 58.9% in May 2026. So, what do you make of it?
Evans, Israel, good morning to you and our listeners. I think if I were the president or an NDC member, I'll be worried. I'll be seriously worried because of the extent to which the president's ratings has plummeted.
Plummeted or dipped?
No, because I'm taking it from Musa Dankwah's research, which they seriously amplified in the early days of President Mahama's administration. Musa Dankwah's research put President Mahama's rating at 84%. If they had gone quiet on it, I wouldn't have referenced that. I wouldn't have even bothered to reference that.
But I don't think you'd want to use two different polls.
It doesn't matter.
So we'll wait for Musa Dankwah to also come out with his, and then we can.
He has something that is out that I'll link it to this very soon. It also came out yesterday, or I think a day before yesterday. Right. I'll link it to this very one very soon. That has to do with their ratings in Ashanti region anyway. But the point I'm making is, initially, his ratings, according to Musa Dankwah, was 84%, which was huge. NDC made noise, in quotes, about it. And most of them depended on that and said the president should be given another opportunity to run for a third term. I'm not surprised. December last year, IEA's approval ratings about President Mahama stood around 68%. And as we speak, how many months down the line? About 6-7 months down the line, it has dropped to 58%. So if you were the president, won't you be worried? Or if you are an NDC member, won't you be worried?
Well,
you would.
You would.
Because let's not forget, let's even do away with Musa Dankwah's ratings that he did and stick to IEA's ratings. From December to the middle of 2026, if you are losing close to 10% of your ratings, what would happen to the government by the time you get to December this year? Or probably middle of next year, a year by now? What would happen?
Could this just be a blip, just for this period? But then something else is going to happen that's going to make people excited, and things are going to get a lot better.
So what's happening? This doesn't happen by chance. Okay, a lot of issues have gone on.
Right.
You see, it's all about confidence. Initially, Ghanaians had confidence in President Mahama. We thought he's had the opportunity to become vice president, later president. He was told to go and sit or probably leave office. He told us he's learned his lessons, for which reason, if he's given a second opportunity, he will do things differently. Ghanaians had confidence in that statement. They felt, let's try him again. So initially, people thought he was going to do magic. But we've realized that the man
He's done some magic.
What has he done?
With a CD for it.
Oh, Israel. Is it does it have any bearing on the economy? Let me ask you.
Yes.
The individual cocoa farmer, what has the city got, the strength of the city done for the cocoa farmer?
So, yes, some are going to lose. Yes, some are going to lose.
Majority of Ghanaians are losing. The economic condition is not favorable. Things are more difficult than it used to be. Cocoa farmers have been given a haircut, and it's all about the lies. They rode on the back of lies to come to power, and they've been exposed. In their own manifesto, they said they were not going to reduce, they were going to protect cocoa farmers by introducing what they called price stabilization fund, and yet they've given them a haircut. Meanwhile, you promised increasing a bag of cocoa to about 6,000. You couldn't do that. So just look at the number of individuals in the cocoa industry. Do you think they are going to be happy with the president? Again, you were talking about fuel. They promised in their manifesto that they're going to make sure that fuel prices are stable. As we speak, fuel is far more expensive than when the previous regime, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was president. So do you think this won't affect?
There are global factors.
Israel, it isn't that I'm oblivious of the issues. I'm not oblivious of it. I'm very much aware of the fact that the global, the happenings at the global stage has impacted negatively when it comes to fuel. But under President Akufo-Addo's days, what was happening? Was it not these same global issues that pushed fuel up? President Mahama is not a novice. He is not new to this game. He knew very well that the global issues made fuel expensive then. Russia-Ukraine war, as well as the free charges that came about, the hike in the free charges as a result of the COVID issues that the whole world was engulfed in. Yet he played politics with it. In their manifesto, they promised that they were going to ensure that we have stable prices. And if we've gotten to a point where fuel is far more than Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's days or NDC's days, do you think this is going to give Ghanaians hope? Obviously, it's going to affect your ratings. Let's not forget, they promised Ghanaians, the youth of this country, that they were going to make sure that every job that goes for an individual, 3 people will handle that job. They termed it as a 24-hour economy. 1 job for 3 people. What is happening to that promise that they gave the youth?
Obed is here.
Now,
I'm sure he's ready.
They think they are smarter than Ghanaians. They think they are wiser than Ghanaians. They think they know better. They can deceive the ordinary Ghanaian. They are now telling Ghanaians that instead of the 133, they are now building markets. Nowhere in their manifesto, from cover to cover, I've taken my time to go through their manifesto. Nowhere was it captured that they were going to build a market and term it as a 24-hour economy. So Ghanaians coming to terms with reality, knowing that President Mahama has this and the NDC has deceived them, obviously won't be happy with what is happening.
That is why there's a dip.
Precisely.
There's a dip in there.
And going forward, I know by December this year, since they've done the first half, by December this year, I doubt it if they get even more than 50%.
All right, let's see how it goes. But Obed, so a number of promises were made, and the suggestion is that because the promises have been fulfilled, that's why there's been a dip in the approval ratings of the president.
Good morning, Israel.
Good morning.
Yeah, a very good morning to your viewers and the good people of Swama constituency, my beloved constituency. They are watching me, and I'm grateful for their opportunity and their prayers. You know, Israel, when I saw the post yesterday, when your producer sent it to me, even though I saw some excerpts somewhere on the social media, even though I've not gone depth into the whole research itself by IEU, but when I saw it, I got to know that, yes, we are doing something and we need to do more. Why am I saying this? Before taking power, we all know where we were. And the good people of Ghana saw it, that it is very important to give the NDC the opportunity to lead this country to a better place. And by the grace of God, when we came upon all the happenings in the world, do it with the, what's the name? The Russia-Ukraine war, the American, whatever it is, the economic war that's happening between China and America, those things. We didn't come and do any press conference telling Ghanaians that because of this war and this, that, and that. But we told Ghanaians we are ready to solve the problems that we are solving. And looking at the whole post that came, I asked myself, what is the main gig for Ghanaians? And I went in search of that. And the main gig for Ghanaians is the bread and butter issues. That is the economy. And I wanted to know where and how many Ghanaians were much interested and then how they spoke about the economy. And you could see 73% of Ghanaians, when you look into it, 73% of Ghanaians said the economy is on its right track. Yes. Why? Because before 2024 or after the 2024 election, we all saw the boost or what we witnessed, where the inflation was, where the CD was, where the exchange rates and then all other ratings were. And you could see, and comparing it to what we have today, you could see that there's far difference of what we are witnessing. Because when you look at what we witnessed, MPP, at the time when they were leaving power, inflation was 23.5%. Today it is 3.4%. Is right. You could see the vast difference. Now, let me just go on their own. Let me just quote their own flag bearer.
So you see, all the things you've talked about, they're true.
Yeah.
But despite all of that, there's still been a dip.
Oh yes, I'll come on that. I'll come there. The reason we are facing, we got that dip over there. I'll come there. But you see, let me quote their own flag bearer. He said, when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Thank you. We took the exchange rate from 17 cities.
That's a lie.
When you were talking, I didn't speak, please.
Oh, but you can't.
We took it from 17 cities, and now look at where it is.
That's a lie.
And we are not. We even upon all the up and downs, we've not had any press conference to say that because of Russia-Ukraine war, because of American-China war, because of what's the name? Israel and Palestine and whatever this war that we are facing or what we are facing. Upon all this, you made mention that fuel, as we were leaving power, it's higher. It was lower than what it is today. It's a lie. Israel, because where fuel is now is when we were leaving power. It was around 17 something cities. Check your books.
So okay,
and now when we took it, it came to a point around 11 cities, and even to 10 point something cities. But because of what we are facing, which it is not our control, it is a world market. It's the world market.
The NPP will also say that. I mean, they also had those factors.
No, you see,
at the time.
No, those factors. Ask yourself: is the Russia-Ukraine war still not going on?
But do you agree? Do you agree that the two parties essentially politicize everything?
No. You see, we will tell you what
politicize
it is.
everything. No, then it comes.
Israel, we will tell you what it is. No, you know why? Because we didn't say, or we have not come out to say that the Russia-Ukraine war or America or whatever it is what is affecting what is happening now.
Make reference.
No, I did not say because of that. The good people of Ghana gave us the opportunity, and the economic that we inherited, and comparing it to what we have today, it shows that we are really doing very well for the people of Ghana. If 73% of Ghanaians are saying that the economy is on a track, it's on a good track, then meaning there's a good thing that the government is doing, led by President John Dramani Mahama and then NDC.
You to ask you the question, does this worry you? Does this worry the NDC? I'll come back to you. But we've been joined now by Austin Kwabena Bracco-Powers. He's a lawyer and researcher, and we'll get into the conversation, try and understand what this means. Good morning to you, Austin. Good morning, Austin.
How you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. All right, so what do you make of the poll, the IEA poll, and the fact that the president's approval ratings has dipped? So there are things that the president has scored well on, but despite all the things, the economy, yes, looking good. About 73% of the people approve of his handling of the economy. And despite all of that, he's still having a dip in the approval rating. What do you make of it?
Adrian, let me say good morning to you.
Good morning.
Viewers and my colleagues in the studio. First off, it is important to know that the headline is not that Mahama is unpopular. It is that the honeymoon period is ending. So this is not a rejection of the presidency.
No doubt.
Because a 58.9% approval rating remains politically strong by democratic standards. However, it signals that the extraordinary goodwill that accompanied President Mahama's office or return to office is beginning to normalize. So I will caution both the opposition and the governing National Democratic Congress to exercise restraint.
Essentially, you're telling the MPP don't get too excited by what you see, and the NDC, you're cautioning them that there's cause for concern.
Very important issue, because the thing is that if you look at from the angle of the NDC, the NDC should resist the temptation to focus only on the fact that the majority still approve the president, because the polls do not merely measure popularity. They reveal trends, and the trend here is downward, because a nearly 10-point decline within the space of 5 months to trigger introspection within the government. Because the government should be asking questions like, are the flagship programs of the policies yielding visible results? And Israel, you are aware of the 24-hour economy policy.
Yes.
And again, is communication effective? Then whether the ministers are being responsive? And again, are ordinary Ghanaians in the recovery? These are matters the governing National Democratic Congress should be interested in, because it will help them. And for the MPP, they should not interpret the 9-point drop as evidence of public disappointment. That would be too premature, because an approval rating close to 60% still provides Mahama with a substantial political cushion. Moreover, the disapproval figure remains significantly lower than the approval rating, because if you have to do the math, even when you give those who did not even respond to the poll, give their percentage to those who disapprove of the president, it is still not staggering to overcome the approval percentage points. So the opposition's challenge here is not merely to point to declining numbers, but to convince Ghanaians that it offers a more credible alternative to the governance of this country. So whilst the data is solemn, its interpretation must be done in a cautious manner. That's why I'm saying that both session or both aisle both faction must exercise restraint. NDC should not rejoice yet, and MPP should also not be overexcited.
Now, Austin, what do you think accounts for the dip?
It is potentially clear. You remember I asked certain questions.
Yes, about the flagship programs.
Exactly. The 24-hour economy, you would notice that in the heat of the campaign, the promise was that 1-3-3 ratio, 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people. As of today, we can credibly say that there's no visible evidence that the so-called 133 has created any fruit. The only thing we hear is that some ministries or government institutions are running a 24-hour shift. Bear in mind, that is no indication that the same job has 3 shifts and there are 3 employees for the same work, because that was what was promised. So clearly, the unemployment rate is rising through the roof, and this will be compounded by the new normal, which is the evacuation of our own citizens from South Africa, because now they are also coming to start a life from a different perspective altogether. Now they have to start from January. That will increase the unemployment rate. So, clearly, the unemployment rate has not been ordered. The government has not delivered to the satisfaction of Ghanaians on the level of the employment aspect. And again, the bit about corruption. The conversation has always been the president will be tough on corruption, but there hasn't been any visible toughness on the part of the government. You would recall that some 2 officials of the National Democratic Congress were referred to the Economic and Organized Crime on allegations of illegal mining. As we speak today, there hasn't been any credible report as whether or not investigations are concluded and what has been done to rein in or to point out whether they are culpable or not. We are almost nearly a year into that allegation, and we haven't seen anything. So clearly, there's a growing disappointment, and one has to do with unemployment.
All right.
And the other has to do with the absence of clearly spelled out objective to address issues of corruption in this country.
Austin, would you say that there's still an opportunity for the government to turn things around?
I believe everything is possible.
All right.
This administration has a 4-year term, and they are barely into their 2nd year. So they have almost 2.5 years to run.
Okay.
They can change the fortune. And if there's any pattern you can detect from the IEA data, it is that Ghanaians are heavy on economics or the economy. They are looking at bread and butter. It's the government delivering the promises. So I think beyond the inflation coming down and the CD stabilizing, there must be evidence in our pockets or in the pockets of the Ghanaian. And the government must adopt real economic policies, not knee-jerk solutions that do not really address the issue. So superficially, things are good. The data is positive. But realistically, the pockets are dry.
All right.
The government must deliver visible, tangible government policies that will give results for the Ghanaian people.
All right. Thank you very much, Austin Kwabena Bracco, Powers lawyer and researcher. Thank you for your insights. But do stay on. We will come to you as and when. But I'm coming back into the studio to you, Obed. So as you heard Austin say, the NDC should be concerned. Is the government concerned?
Very much. We are listening to government, and we are very much concerned on all what he is saying. The research, the polls that came out.
So Austin made reference to why he thinks that the president is suffering that dip in his ratings. He made reference to the promises, the flagship programs that you had, and the fact that you've not delivered on them.
Yeah, we have. And one thing I've seen about NDC...
Are you saying you have delivered?
Yes, and I'll give you a reason. You know why? NDC, we do not rush into implementing policies. We take our time and make sure...
Okay, so you haven't delivered on the promise?
Not entirely.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand, with the 24-hour economy that he's talking about. Are you aware that DVLA is processing that? DVLA does 24-hour economy. Shipyard, them are shipyard. 24-hour economy. What's the name? And then passports, passport office. Now, if you do your passports, we don't have those times where people were charging 2,000, 2,500 for just an express. But today, when you pay your normal fee, within a week, you will get it at your doorsteps, provided you give them the right address. And you don't have backlogs there, all because of all this, the 24-hour economy implemented over there. And as we speak, MPA did, what's the name, has started something, and very soon they are going to start that. EPA did the piloting, and they are going to start it. So some government agencies have really started something. Right. Do you understand? And it is not that we need to just rush into it. And at the end of the day, it will be on how free SHS did to Ghanaians. So and we had this red, white, and green. What's the name? Tracks.
Okay, so
you understand? It's something that we need to think through it.
Essentially, you're thinking through. You're not thinking through it.
Not thinking through it, please. No, don't take. You see,
you just said
no. I said no. It's something that we promised Ghanaians, and it's different when you are in opposition, when you promise, and when you come. The most important thing, when we came, the boost.
This is insightful.
I'm coming. The boost we met.
I just want you to stay on that.
Yes, the boost we met. Yes, the boost we met was
in opposition. What you see is different.
Yes, but when we came, the boost that how we thought it was, or how we thought the boosts were, was even worse than what we were saying. So we couldn't just implement it at once. I hope you understand what I mean. So it's something that we should think through it and make sure we bring the economy back on track before we implement certain things.
I like this concession that you make, and I'm hoping. I just want to stay on this for a bit.
Yes.
Because it goes for both of you.
Yes.
I mean, both parties. What you see or what you can promise in opposition is very different from when the reality hits when you're in government.
Yes, because when we came.
So let's reiterate that so that as when you're in opposition and you're making claims, pronouncements, be mindful that when you come into office, the situation, the picture is often very, very different.
When we're in opposition, we thought Ghana had about 1 city or 3 cities somewhere. But when we came, are you not going to let me talk? Are you not going to let me talk? No, please. When we came, when we were coming, we thought the Ghana had about 3 cities or 4 cities. But when we came and we saw the boost that we witnessed, it was negative. So what we needed to do is to bring back the economy on track before we can implement certain things. Yeah. And you know what? You asked a question that why the dip. You see, even look at New York Times and other stuff, how they rated Trump and the other. And you could see, I'm coming.
After Donald
I'm
Trump.
coming.
Let's not go to Donald Trump. It's a different case altogether.
I understand. But I see, looking at the expectation of Ghanaians.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, Ghanaians have very high expectations.
Looking at the expectation of Ghanaians and how the MPP government failed us, spending a whole $100 million on a whole, when it could have employed people. Looking at your own constituency where you were district chief executive or MCE, Swami, look at what happened there. Look at what happened there.
Let's stay with the expectations of Ghanaians.
So the expectation of Ghanaians was very high.
Yeah.
And by grace of God, we've met them in a halfway, which we are on well to make sure.
Don't indicate that.
It indicates when you look at the economy, 73%. Is when we were in school or when we were in school. It is there. Maybe you've not read it.
Yes, the approval rating.
No, on the economy is 73. Please. 73% of Ghanaians.
That's a lie.
73% of Ghanaians. Unless you want to tell me that the YEA
is a lie. It's here. It said
you don't want me to speak. Why? Are you not comfortable?
3.5% side the economy.
Economy.
Yeah.
So
and the economy is the bread and butter. Do you know why we had a dip? it's because of the what's the name? The expectations Ghanaians had in us that we will solve the roads issues at once. You see, now yesterday I saw some video and roads that were done just about 3-4 years ago are being peeled off. Why? So Ghanaians are in full expectations to make sure that, to see that President Mahama will take us to a place that they will be more comfortable, even though the comfort is not all that we expect, but where we are or where we are going, and looking at the happiness in the world.
And they're also very impatient. I mean, Ghanaians are impatient. They want to see
which I understand.
Results, yeah.
They want to see results, and results are being shown. Because when you look at the city has depreciated. I said the city is performing very well with all other currencies. Your own Fragbera said it. When the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate we are supposed to, and the exchange rate.
You see the danger.
Ghanaians businessmen are very much comfortable in their when they are going to do it, because when they have the monies that the dollars that they buy. When they go and buy maybe a car or something, what they think about is that, or they don't think about by the time the car comes, the dollar will raise or rise to this place or this. No, but now you know that definitely the dollar is maybe on 12 cedis. So all your dealings around that.
Even that, right, these days it's we're seeing an appreciation.
Yes.
Again.
Yes, because of all what is happening, but we are still in control.
And sometimes you can become a victim of your own success, they say. So you drove the value way down. The exchange rate went to like 11, point something thereabouts. And people quickly forget about it. So you've brought them to a certain level and they feel, okay, so this is the level that we should be in. So anything
it has been there for long time.
But immediately something.
This has never happened in this country before.
Immediately something changes, then their concerns say, okay.
Israel, you have been in this game for a long time. Have you ever seen a government come into power and it will take $1 from where it is? All the time it increases, isn't it?
I haven't.
But today
it doesn't increase all the time.
Yes,
this was significant. Very significant.
Very significant. And this should tell the economic messiah that they praise all the time that he has nothing to offer Ghanaians. Because the NDC and President John Dramani Mahama are doing what Ghanaians want and what Ghanaians want to see.
Yeah.
Even though we are barely 2 years, but we are doing what is expected of us.
What tends to happen is when people come into the studio, especially the government spokesperson or the people who have access to government, I put their issues that I want you to run or checks for us. So we had a call. Somebody calling in this morning talking about cocoa farmers and the fact that they've not been paid. They've supplied the beans, but they've not been paid. I'd want you to check and find out what the
sure. I'll just update, because some of it is just a mere point, because I come from a cocoa growing area. I'm from Swama and Adieso.
Okay, so it's
and by the grace
which
of God,
why
we have cocoa.
Yeah, which is why
our cocoa have been bought. We've been paid.
Oh, you've been paid?
Yes.
Yours.
You see, I'm from Swama, so you are from Swami.
This guy called from KJB.
Do you know something?
You called from KJB. So
you know something?
You may want to
sometimes it is these people who just bring in people to just, because you see, this cocoa issue.
So it's fine.
Yes.
It's possible.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying,
good.
You check. I'd want you to do those checks for us.
Concluding on this issue, I think I'll not just, so now look at Fish report, what's the name?
The credit rating.
Look at how they are rating Ghanaians. Now, we are not hearing what we used to hear, that this company wants to leave Ghana, this company wants to go, and this. All what we are hearing is that investors are coming in to invest in Ghana, and now what we pray for is that jobs will come more. As President Mahama recently from his travels, he had 180,000 agriculture. Yes, no. 180,000 agriculture machines for to boost the agriculture business for us all to see that there's something for the people of Ghana. So, my brother, you have nothing to say. You failed us and you went home. Go and sit down and tell Ghanaians that you are sorry. You will never come back and come and fail the Ghanaian people again. Thank you.
Maxwell, so we heard, Austin talk about the fact that The NPP shouldn't get too excited because the ratings, because if you look at the approval rating is still quite high. And so don't get too excited.
Before I come to that, I will not be excited, but before I come to that, like I was telling you, it is false to say that 73.5% of Ghanaians approve of Mahama's.
That's not it.
I want you to read it well. We've not.
So
please,
I'm not saying we're not saying
that is what he said. That was what I was challenging. Okay.
So it is not a challenge.
Yes.
There's no challenge in there. So you can.
I just want to correct it because he stated at 73.5%. But he's saying amongst those who approve of President Mahama's ratings, 58.9%
cites the economy.
Precisely.
So majority of the people who approve.
Yes, he kept on repeating it. So that was where I was coming from.
Cites the economy.
Again, why would I be excited about President Mahama's ratings going down? Why should I be excited?
Because it makes.
Oh no, Israel. Let's this we are educating the public. Please let's get this here.
Is it still about the rating?
Yes, nearly 3 in 4 approved. 73.5 credit.
No, read it well. Read it.
It's here. 73.5% credits the government's handling of the economy.
73.5%.
Please, it's on Joy News.
No, it's
of what?
But this is, you have to read it in context.
Yes.
The whole thing says. Let me go over it. It says, among those who approve.
Yes.
So we're already saying that if we look at the people who approve, we are 58.9% approving, about 60%.
Yes.
So of the 60% that approve, or nearly 60% who approve, 73.5% cite the economy.
Yes, they mentioned the economy is doing well, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what we are talking about. And that is the bread and butter
of
issue.
the people who approve. Yes. It's not like 73.5% of Ghanaians.
No, but this is the research we are talking about.
All right. So let's hold on. This
is the research we are talking about.
Let's get on the phone lines. We've also been joined by. I'll come to you.
Okay.
We've joined by Dr. Kwame Asante, who's a political scientist at the University of Ghana. Essentially, we're going to be going through the same questions that I put to Austin. I'm going to put the same questions to you, Dr. Asante. What do you make of the rating? The fact that there's been a dip. Even though there's been a dip, it's still quite significant that about nearly 60% still approve of the president's performance so far. Good morning, Dr. Kwame Asante.
Good morning, Ibra. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. And good to reconnect with you. It's been a while, I know.
Good morning, my colleague in the studio, and of course, Ghanaians as well. If you look at it is to be expected that any time you are taking.
We seem to be having some challenges with the connection to you, Dr. Kwame Asante. I don't know.
Is it better now?
We can hear you. As for hearing, you can hear you, but we tend to lose you. So please speak on.
Right. It is normal in service and in governance. In government performance. There are people who obviously see something wrong, one or two wrong with the system. Right. But
the connection is not very stable. I think we're going to try and reach you again, this time on phone. You can keep your video on, and then we will reach you on phone. So we'll get back to you so you can continue with the submission. But yes, you were making the point that so we've agreed that of the 60, nearly 60% that approve, 73.5% cites the economy.
Precisely. Like I was telling you, President Mahama's failure will not mean NPP's automatic victory in 2028. The issues that will come up for the 2028 elections, it is what Ghanaians will base their decisions on. Yeah. So we are not praying for NDC to fail, not at all. But rather, they promise. Are
you sure?
Oh, why would I pray for? I'm a businessman, and the dollar, when it came to 10 cedis, favored my business.
Okay.
As we speak,
it's still favoring you.
Wait. Soya has started going up. Soya that used to be 285 cedis per bag.
It's nice of you
has gone to 380 cedis.
It's nice of you to concede that, yes, they're doing something right.
Oh, at least for the dollar, what is there to argue?
Yeah.
There's no argument. When we were there, when we were leaving office, the dollar was 14 cedis, 70 pesos. In fact, let me tell you, NDC, from President Mahama to all the appointees, the dollar has never in the history of this country gotten to 17 cedis. It has never happened. And this is an incontrovertible fact. You can easily check this. So let nobody create that impression. Wherever they stand, they want to create the impression that we left the dollar as 17 cedis.
Regardless, you appreciate that there's been a significant...
That is what I'm talking about. I'm just...
You took the dollar from 3 cedis.
Again, please.
3 cedis, and look at where you ended it.
Again, the dollar was also not at 3 cedis, but that's no debate. I don't have to waste my energy on that. Again, he talks about fuel, that we left fuel at 17 cedis. That's equally a lie, because President Mahama this year, when he stood in Parliament, stated that NPP left fuel, diesel especially, at 15 cedis, 50 pesos. So I don't know where he's also getting his fact from. Fuel is far more expensive now than it used to be. Coming back to the issues, you see...
Can I interject again?
Okay.
We have Dr. Kwame Asasante, this time on phone. Thank you very much, Dr. Kwame Asasante. So, yes, you were making the submissions about what you make of the IEA poll.
Yeah, it's not surprising that we have such rating because in governance, once you are in office, not everybody will experience all the good things. In such cases, you realize that there are problems there, and all these are functions of the rating. So obviously, if somebody is suffering by way of flooding, that anytime it rains, the area gets flooded and all that, is going to affect the present rating in that direction. But the good news is that a lot of people still believe that the president and his government can deliver. For me, as a student of governance and politics, that is what I'm interested in. What is it that they've seen with the government, and that they still bank their hopes in the president and the government with the belief that at the end of the day, they will be able to deliver for them. For me, that is what we are looking forward to. But it's also it serves as a learning curve for the government,
right?
Because once the rating gets dwindled by the day, it tells you that there are other aspects of governance that you need to be able to do more in that regard. So that is also a learning curve for the government if they really want to stay afloat and perform as expected of them. So for me, it's a good thing, and that it's also a learning thing for the government. And then I will also urge the people to look out for more in terms of whether the government is delivering or not. If the government is delivering, why not saying yes? If the government is not delivering, you also have every right to say no, so that at the end of the day, governance will be placed at the doorstep of everybody.
All right. Now, I asked Austin the same question about why you think the rating has dipped. Are there any factors that you cite?
Oh, obviously, if you are looking at let's look at the flooding. It's a big one. I don't know when
the flooding. The poll was conducted before the flooding, so the flooding wouldn't be one of those.
Obviously, prices of certain commodities have gone a little higher, not too higher than we experienced before. So, yes, you and I know that I'm sure that there are a little increases in fuel here and there. All these things, it doesn't matter how insignificant that one would be.
Yeah.
If there is an issue like that, people will want to place it at the doorstep of the president to be able to know and then work on that. So all these things are factors that affect, the people of Ghana. So when they are going through voting, a survey like that, they don't hesitate at all to let the president know how they feel.
So there's also the suggestion that the flagship programs that the government promised have not been delivered. Would that also be one of the factors? It
is also true that the programs that the government promised, we are also seeing work being done on some of them. So it's a mixed bag of reactions.
Right.
So you should expect not everybody to say that all is well. Of course, there are some who will tell you about the situation that they find themselves in. So it's a mixed bag of reactions, and I expect such responses. Of course, you are not going to have responses tilted towards one direction. Then it tells you that either the government is overly performing or is underperforming, and that is a problem. But what we are getting, it tells you that we are getting improved governance. But as children of Oliver, we want more to make our lives better.
Do you also feel that Ghanaians are just being impatient and that they probably should take their time and allow the government to give the government some time to deliver?
The time is now. The government has no time for everybody to wait.
Right.
I can't, and any other Ghanaian will know it. They want to see their government performing. And that is all. So when they are telling the government, they are giving raw materials for government to know that this is where you are doing well. This place, you need to up your game if you really want to ensure that what is in your manifesto is being delivered. For me, the two angles are very good when you are looking at proper good governance. And for me, it is a guide towards effective leadership.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante, but I don't want you to go off completely. I'm hoping that you can get to regularize your connection, your Zoom connection, so that when we come back to you, it's going to be a lot better. But don't go away. Please stay tuned in. When they say, the two pundits that I have in the studio, when they say stuff that I miss, I would want you to come in and help me out, because they can be punching left, right, center. So, Les, you were making your mark. I
said initially, my initial NDC has failed Ghanaians woefully. They have not delivered on any of their flagship promises they made to the people of this country. If you know of
it's work in progress.
Work in progress.
There's some things that have been done.
Your flagship program. How many months?
24 hours.
Please, they shouldn't even. Did they promise DVLA or they promise the entire youth, all government institutions?
So work in progress.
It won't even qualify for 1% of what they are talking about. DVLA, do they do 133 at DVLA? Is that what you are telling us?
24-hour economy is...
No, is it 133? The 24-hour economy is not about... You do 24 hours, don't you do 24 hours?
Yes.
But you don't do 133 here.
No, we don't.
Good. So the focus is on 133.
So your focus is on 133. But they say they're taking their time to deliver.
Israel, it was about unemployment. And that was their solution to unemployment, the promise to the youth of this country. You told us that you were going to triple the workforce. You don't come back and tell us that we should give you time. Time to do what? At least by now you should have started 122. That will give the youth hope that, let's give them additional year. Probably we'll get to the 133. You've not even been able to do 122, and you are telling us to give you more time. More time for what? Especially when the teachers that are numbering about just 6,000, the nurses that the previous administration even recruited, you've not even been able to pay them. It doesn't inspire hope. Again, they promised two major financial institutions. One, that was a promise made to the women of this country, Women's Bank. And the second financial institution was for the youth of this country. The first one, when you go to page 125 of their manifesto, they promised that they were going to establish a micro-credit facility with a seed money of 750 million that will be used to support the youth of this country. Israel, what has happened to that promise?
So I know the President announced the establishment of the seed money that was given for the women's banking, I believe. I'll get you the details.
Last year, it even featured in our budget. What happened to it? This year, do you still have hope that that women's bank is going to be operationalized? Again, what of the promise they made to the youth regarding the 750 million seed money that will be used for the establishment of the microcredit facility? You see, all these things...
Work in progress. Right?
They don't...
No, work in progress.
Please. He needs to get something right. How many years did Ghanaians give us?
You made a promise.
How many years did we give?
So you are waiting to...
No, I'm asking you a question. Is it the problem of MPP? Is it a problem of MPP?
Like Israel, he's not helping matters.
I'm not helping matters. What you are saying is not right. We were given 4 years.
The 4 year mandate. So you're saying
we are just 16 months, isn't it?
So they should give you time.
My brother.
Okay.
No. What are you talking about?
You see, Israel, again, you remember they criminalized soul sourcing in this country. They made it appear that any engagement in soul sourcing and restrictive tendering is corruption. Page 136 of their manifesto, they offered a solution. They said they were not going to engage in restrictive tendering and soul sourcing. And you think Ghanaians are not watching? You think you are in government, you can do whatever you want. Out of 107 contracts that they offered, they signed up to under the big push agenda, that 10 billion big push agenda. Not one even is competitive. You told Ghanaians that NPP is engaging in, you know IEA's report, those who rated President Mahama down, mentioned about corruption. Their focus was partly on corruption. Restrictive tendering and soul sourcing that they've done regarding the big push road contracts. You think this will inspire hope amongst Ghanaians? We've told them that any contract that is soul sourcing is full of corruption, is full of thievery. You want to shortchange the people of this country. That's why you are embarking on that exercise. So obviously Ghanaians will see President Mahama as a liar. He says this and do the otherwise. So these are the very things that they've said in their manifesto that is making Ghanaians feel, oh, they promised this and they are not being able to deliver on those promises. Remember oral?
Yes.
What didn't they say about oral? They painted a picture that appointees of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we were thieves. And they were going to recover close to $21 billion. How many months into their administration? They've not been able to recover one cedi. Not even one cedi has been recovered. And you think Ghanaians can't assess issues by themselves? And you think President Mahama, that Mahama is the whole that we were saying? Mahama is the whole that they were, the singing, everything that praises and so on and so forth. Reality has set in. So obviously, whichever assessment that is made would get the man down. Again, the flooding in Accra, what didn't this our president say? The honorable lecturer at UG, the Professor, is it Ansa? Dr. Ansa, good. Mention of the flood. You see, the flood has not even featured. That's what the point I'm making. The flood had not even featured. In their next research, or let me say, the polls that they make, the flood will be a feature. A feature not in the sense that it's going to be part of the questions, but it's going to be at the back of those who will be answering the questions. How well has Mahama performed regarding floods in Accra, especially when he was opposition leader? He promised that he has the solution to our flooding situation in this country. Meanwhile, the situation has worsened, especially when the previous administration provided you with or bequeathed to you earth-moving equipment. We had backhoes, excavators, and other tipper trucks and so on and so forth. That could be used to solve this problem. You know, because he is not proactive, they wait till the rains have set in before they make a knee-jerk reaction by trying to solve. You see, these demolition exercises that they, as a former municipal chief executive, the demolition exercise that they are embarking on, I can tell you, it won't, regarding the flood situation, it won't solve it by even up to 2%. You know why? If you want to tame flooding, no matter what you do, will happen. But before the rain sets in, that is when you try to clear the major drains, the gutters. You try to clear these areas to make sure that the water that will be going through these drains will have easy passage.
When you talk about flooding, what the NDC would also ask the NPP is, you make reference to the Garrett project. The Garrett project, which the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Project, which you had $350 million to work on. So they will say, what did you do with the money?
But was the situation this worse?
No, it doesn't.
I'm asking you. Was the situation?
Because
that's why
that was supposed to set the situation or ease the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So if that had happened, then the situation wouldn't have been
the
as bad
situation
as
during our time was much better than it is today. Tell me it's not true. That's why I'm telling you they are not proactive. They wait. What even happened to the hope that they gave to Ghanaians? Their anti-flag task force. What happened to that task force? Where are they now? What is their work? Where have they got into? That hope President Mahama gave Ghanaians, especially those of us in Accra, that he's going to end flooding. What has happened to that? He criticized President Akufo-Addo. He said President Akufo-Addo was the cause of the flooding in Accra because the buck stops with him as the president. He is in charge now. What is happening? Can't we ask him these questions? NPP is no more. We've been kicked out. So
those questions have been answered?
So
indeed, we expect the government, the current
precisely.
government.
So these are the very issues. The flooding and among other things were the reasons why people felt NPP should be booted out. We've been kicked out. They are now in. Where are the solutions to the very issues that they promised the people of this country?
Obed.
Israel, I'm very sad.
You need
today.
to be.
You know why? A whole former appointee of President Akufo-Addo who failed his own people, the Swami constituency, the Swami district.
Failed.
You failed them.
Meaning failed.
You know what? You know why? You promised the people of Swami your own strongholds. You promised them of an interchange. What did they do? You are here defending NPP again. Can you go out there to Swami people to tell them that, hey, me?
What does it mean about the interchange?
My brother,
what does
do you have it? Is it there?
It's over 50% complete before we left off.
Look at you. Are you happy saying this?
50%.
Are you happy saying this? Let me go on. It's my turn. Let me
talk. The interchange.
You see, you are talking about this. Are you not even ashamed over here? Israel, we are serious in this country this time around. Though. The people of Ghana, the youth of this country, the other time I was having a conversation with someone and he said, it is no more my father is here, my mother is here. It's about what I see.
Right, granted.
And let me come on something.
But now we're focusing on the...
Yes, let me go on something. He made mention of soul sourcing. But the people of Ghana, let me tell you something. The MPP is afraid that or do not want you to see better growth in your areas. That is why they are against this soul sourcing. Because if we want to go into smooth and what's the name? The process of tendering and other things. Look at the time that sometimes it takes. We are in hurry. No, it takes time. No, I'm coming. For me, my hometown, Swami and Dadieso, from Dadieso to Akontomna, when it was given to his original chairman and he chopped the money, chairman to me, he was giving the contract. He chopped the money. From Dadieso to Akontomna, that road has been given to a contractor and the contractor is working. The contractor is working. That is what we want to see. We want to see roads. So your source or whatever that you are talking about, Ghanaians do not care. What we care about, no, I'm coming. But the source sourcing that he's talking about, has there been any, what's the name, breach of law here? Is there a breach of law? No, but you. What we spoke about was that. What we spoke about was that the source sourcing was they used that as an opportunity and they were abusing it. That's what we are talking about. That's what we are talking about.
Not abusing it.
We are not. If you have any, if you see any abuse, come and talk about it. And promises made. We are 16 months going to our 17 months. We have 4 years that the people of Ghana has given us. And you want us to finish everything today. My brother, we don't rush in things. You yesterday, you were at Kumasi Aferi. Hospital that was almost completed. Almost completed. And that all what you wanted to do, you needed to do is to just go and make sure everything is done and you employ people for people to go and work. I'm not even surprised because the whole UGMC was completed. It took a young boy to raise the placard before, and that boy was even arrested. Before all of you, even Israel, I remember you said something. You mentioned that.
I would wish that you would focus on things that
Israel, he went somewhere and I need to clear it.
But he's distracting you, so you're supposed to stay on.
I'm on it.
Stay with the
No, but I wouldn't want him to distract us. in terms of throwing dust into Ghanaians' eyes. No, we are no more allowing that. They called President Mahama names. Those years, we are no more allowing that.
Right. So
now, the whole thing is that
we've seen a dip in the president.
And the reason is that Ghanaians are in expectant of a lot of things.
Yes, they are impatient. They want to see the program.
And we understand them, and we are delivering. You sitting here today, you have confessed that your own flag bearer failed the government that you were in. That's from 2017 to 2024. That as economic messiah, he didn't protect the public purse. He didn't control the city, and the city was just flying away. Today you are here confessing that the city has helped in your business, and you are telling me Ghanaians are not happy. The other Ghanaian is happy because today he when he's selling or when he goes to buy something outside the country, he knows that the money that he used, there wouldn't be any increase or whatever it is in anything that you have to go and buy another dollar to add. That is what we are talking about. The people of Ghana are happy, but we know that we've not certified them to the full dreams that we want. But the whole thing is that we need to do more. Israel, we need to do more. And about the flag thing that he spoke about, we had a whole ministry of sanitation under our government. We had a whole ministry, full setup.
We are not in charge.
My brother, let me talk. We had a whole full ministry. Israel, what did they do? If you have solved this, would we have that problem today?
You won't solve all the problems.
You understand?
They can't solve all the problems. They solve the problems up to a point, but now you're.
But they didn't solve to any point. They had about $60 million to a home minister, and what did they do? They said they were going to dredge the Odona.
Obed.
Did you see? No, Israel.
He makes the point that yes, indeed, they're not in charge anymore.
Thank you very much. And they should keep quiet for us to rule the country. You know why? Because they failed us. How can Israel, let me ask a question.
We can't.
Let me ask a very question.
Quiet and wait and say.
No, you can talk. You can talk. The MPP cannot talk.
But they also Ghanaians.
No, Israel, let me ask a very simple question. The three of us, we are your uncles. We were supposed to take care of you. I did not care about your education. I didn't do anything about your education. Your upcoming. And I'm coming. And today, he came in and told you that, no, please. He came in and told you that, I'm taking you to school. And he has bought your forms, he has paid your fees, and he's about to buy your uniform for you to start school. Can I say that he's delaying you? Can I say that he's delaying you?
Where does this analogy?
I'm coming. Can I say that he's delaying you?
So what is he talking essentially, about? Let's not, stretch this thing. Ghanaians can't say they are waiting until the end of the 4 years.
No, we are not. We are working.
They're giving you feedback.
Are we not working?
Then this feedback is supposed to help.
It is helping us. We welcome it very well.
What I'm expecting you to say.
We welcome it very well.
Yes, we've taken the feedback, and this is what we're doing about it.
We welcome it very well. Here. And it's something that
you made reference to the soul sourcing issue, and I was looking for a particular story. And that story exactly is the reason soul sourcing can be dangerous. So the roads minister has reassigned the Bogus Christia road project to a new contractor.
You know why? Because he wasn't performing. I'm coming. And he was not doing the work.
This is what tends to happen if you hand out projects to people without going through.
You see, we are in this country. I just want my own hometown. Someone that they are so from, someone that they are so too. A contaminant was given to your original chairman to work on it. What did they do? But because we have a good government that we are enjoying today, we've sacked a contractor. Have you heard some in this country before?
Right. So I'm going to take.
Do you understand what I mean?
I'm going to go.
The contractor has been sacked, and we've replaced a new contractor.
But before then, I asked you if you can check on the cocoa.
Yes, I'm speaking to the.
So you're going to get something.
Yes, out of the 11 billion, how much has been paid?
So we're going to get
11 billion that you owe.
I'm going to Dr. Kwame Asante on the line. Kwame says, Doc. So they've been punching me left, right, center, even though I'm still standing. Okay, so we've lost Dr. Kwame Asante. But if we have Osing, I'd like to take your final thoughts on all the conversation we've been having.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I think we can go with the.
Oh, good. Yes. Dr. Kwame Asante, yeah.
Please let me hear your question.
No, so I'm saying that they've said there's been so much that's been said by them, so the NDC is saying that, well, it's work that they are doing, it's work in progress. But he's made reference to the fact that the NPP, if the NPP has solved some of the problems that they are now blaming the NDC for, things would have been a lot better. And they cite the flood situation, for instance. But of course, we're making the point to them that the NPP is no longer in charge. It's the government that is in charge. So we expect them to just deliver. And the Ghanaians indeed are impatient.
Yeah, I think that argument cannot be used anywhere. The last election settled a conversation about who has what it takes to lead this country.
Exactly.
The good people of this country rejected NPP massively and voted for NDC. So NDC cannot use it as a bait, as a cover, that, there are problems because we inherited ABCD. That is no. The last election settled that conversation. So now you are given power. You have every right to perform. Yes, for me and where I sit, I'm not sure the government is doing badly at all.
Right.
But what we are getting from this report tells you that there are challenges. And I'm not sure that the government will say that, well, this is a harsh criticism or something of that nature. No. It is to let the government realize that there is a need for them to up their game and then work very hard in the areas that people are faulting them, so that the next survey, they are going to get good results. Let us remember that these things it costs a lot of money. The IDEC, they spend so much, and they give it to government free of charge. So I think that the government should take it in its stride and then build on it to better the lives of people. After all that governance seeks to do is to make life better for everybody. So once we get better life, we are good to go. We want more improvement in the economy.
Yeah.
We want to see stability levels coming down, and then we get to the levels that it is expected that all countries should have. We should be able to operate within that area. Issue of flooding has been a perennial issue, and it seems to me that all government are bereft of ideas to deal with it. We want this government to grab the bull by the horn and then deal with this problem head on. I know that there are about almost 2+ years ahead. So when I am looking at assessment, I am careful because, look, they can even in the third year spring a surprise to you and saying that all that we promised we have delivered. So what would you say? But for now, what we have experienced, I think that so far so very good.
Yeah.
Except that there is more for them to do if
right.
they really want to improve our lives.
All right. Okay, before you go, so the other bit of the conversation we're having this morning has to do with the World Cup, which is starting today, and I would want you to have a bit of a bite on it before you get to go. What are your expectations about the Black Stars? There's somebody called in this morning, and he said he's hopeful that the Black Stars, they're going to win the trophy. Do you share that optimism?
Oh, that one is too far-fetched. The person must be real to himself. If you look at the team that we have, we don't have the best of teams.
Yeah.
I know. I've been following soccer for a very long time.
Okay.
And if you just to put this on the fact that you have giants in terms of the teams that we have over there, it's not an easy thing.
Brazil and Argentina.
It doesn't matter. The team that we have, I'll continue to support the Black Stars and I wish them well.
Yeah.
But it's my hope and prayer that we'll begin to build a team that will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
A team that when one goes, there's another one. I am worried about the fact that these days we don't do coach soccer. We don't do regional soccer and so forth and so on. Growing up as a little boy in my hometown, Ekropong, we saw, soccer being played at regional level, at district level, and all that, where they select people and then put them at the national level.
True.
Because soccer gave us a lot of players that became the best of all times. What is happening here? I believe in the minister, Kofi Adams, that he's a man of vision. He will look at all these things and then see how best we can deal with this issue so that we can get Abedi Pelis, we can get the Tony Eboas, and, the rest of them. The players are here, except that we are not tapping them. As a little boy, I also saw the academic house. People from the university. Don't think that the university will only exist to study and go away. We also do sports.
Yeah.
There are quality of people in there that you can also select and build a team that will stand the test of time. So I wish the Black Stars the best. And it's my hope and prayer that they will survive for a while. But for winning the cup, it's a tall order for the Black Stars.
Yeah.
That one, we must say that.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Kwame Asasante, political scientist at the University of Ghana. We also have Austin on the line. So, Austin, I'd like your concluding thoughts on this IEA poll and the conversations we've been having, and then you can have your bite on your expectations of the Black Stars' performance as the World Cup begins today.
That's right. Israel, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
So, the IEA poll is neither an endorsement nor an indictment.
All right.
It is a caution. And I want both the two dominating political parties to have this in mind. In one end, it tells the president that the goodwill is getting or is dwindling.
Yeah.
And must be converted into tangible improvements in people's lives. On the other hand, it tells opposition that dissatisfaction has not yet translated into recession. But largely to Ghanaians, it is that the era of governing on sentiment alone may be ending, and that the era of governing on measurable results has begun. So this is normal historically, democratically, everywhere. So we must get it. Usually, midterm dips are normal.
Hello, Austin. We seem to be losing.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. We lost you a bit. Yeah. So please conclude.
Yeah, Israel.
Yes.
Yeah, so what I was trying to point out is that
Oh. All right. It seems we are losing.
hello, Israel.
Yes, Austin.
Yeah, so I'm saying that midterm dip is normal across the world.
All right. All right, getting towards the end of, we seem to be having a challenge with Austin's line. But thank you very much, Austin Bracco, Kwabena Bracco Powers, lawyer and researcher, for joining us for the conversation. I was hoping to hear what you'd have to say about the Black Stars as well, but unfortunately, we seem to have lost you. So I'm coming into the studio and to get your thoughts on the Black Stars performance, or your expectations of the Black Stars as we go into the tournament. The tournament starts today.
We can only pray and hope that magic happens. But hope, like anybody would tell you, is never a strategy. If you do your homework well, which I don't think we've prepared enough, because the quality of materials available to us attests to the fact that we can only hope. Okay, because if we had the days that we had the Asians, the Stephen Appiahs, the Asamoah, the Kingstons, you could just close your eyes and name Black Stars 11. As we speak, I don't even know who will be featuring, apart from Pate and a few others. Kudus that we thought would at least save the situation a bit couldn't also appear on this stage. So we can only hope, and we will not put any pressure. Left to me alone, we should manage our expectations. Let's not put any pressure, unnecessary pressure on the players and the coach. Whatever comes, because the group that we find ourselves is not even that simple. Apart from Panama, which is not a football country, Croatia, England, they are not pushovers. They are not easy to beat. So if we manage to, as a Ghanaian, I'll be happy if we manage to travel beyond the group stages. But if it doesn't happen that way, we should come back and do our homework and make sure we do better the next time.
Okay, Obed.
I think there's an adage in our Ghanaian language is that ufiti preku policy mojaneba to aid Ghanaians. You gave us a mandate and we will deliver. Just have patience for us, and we will make sure we give you good governance as we've started, and we'll do that. On the Black Stars issue, Israel, do you remember 2009? Under 20.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. We've had the Abedi Peles, we have the whatever players that you could mention those years, and they didn't give us any cap. Do you understand? But by the grace of God, something miraculously happened in 2009. And all what I'll tell
Ghanaians... You're expecting another miracle
and no, the World Cup. And what I'll tell Ghanaians is that let's support them in prayers. But the prayers to please, as you are going there, please and a big please, don't be selfish. Go and play as a team. And make sure you are playing for Ghana. And what happened in 2009
will happen.
2010 or 2000.
All right, but let's take some comments on
2010.
On WhatsApp. So Hadi P Farm says, can this MPP poll show Ghanaians some respect? They're too desperate to come to power, and inshallah, it will not happen. These people are confused, and obviously take Ghanaians as MPP members. You are reporting to us that there are building materials such as cement, iron rods, etc. left to rot on the site of the hospital because the project has been abandoned in 1.5 years. Meanwhile, the cement we saw has definitely been there for years. Yet you say the project was commissioned in 2024, obviously for election purposes. The logical question is, how do you commission a project which had yet some building materials on site to be utilized? Who commissions the hospital project before it's finished and equipped for use? All right, let's go to the next comment. So Kwame from Ahafo says, good morning. The NDC government will take necessary steps to complete the abandoned projects that have been left to rot under the previous government. Special greetings to Chairman Sadiq. Okay, next. Good morning, Mr. Host. Please, we should be truthful to ourselves because under NPP, fuel prices was not any increase to 17 cedis all 8 years ago, where our automatic posting and the 133 is now 419. Okay, next message. Good morning, Israelite. The IEA polls on the president's performance is true reflection on the ground because the current president has failed to deliver on its promises as they promised in 2024. 24-hour economy. So he cites a number of things that he says we failed. And let's go down the least we talk about this government, the better. Only ministers fighting each other for the presidential ambitions. Okay, so let's go to the next. Good morning, Israel. Braco Power's assessment is untenable. He spoke about rising corruption, yet he could not point to a single proven act of corruption by the current government, which has been in office for almost 2 years. He mentioned 2 NDC executives who have allegedly been cited for involvement in Galamsey and then concluded that this amounts to corruption. Is that his standard of evidence? When so-called researchers bury their heads in the sand and speak as though they are presenting facts backed by credible data, it becomes difficult to take the assessment seriously. Such an approach is neither objective nor acceptable. That's Abbas Haruna from Kumawu Zongo. Good morning, Israel. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. The NDC communicator must understand that this government is being judged by its ability to deliver on its promises. Every serious government prioritizes the implementation of its flagship policies. You should point to at least one major policy the NDC has successfully implemented since assuming office. Former President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo campaigned on free SHS from 2008, and upon winning power, he made it one of his first priorities and fulfilled that promise. Today, Ghanaians are still asking, where is the automatic posting for nurses and teachers? Where is the 24-hour economy policy? Where is the 133 policy? Leadership is measured not by promises made, but by promises fulfilled. Let's go on to the next message. If we have any more messages, let's go move on to them. Otherwise, Ghana cocoa price is better than everywhere. Okay, that's what Abukari Sadiq says. Master Planner says, the NDC government led by President Mahama was riding on the foundation of President Nana-Addo and the government in 2025. Now, their real performance is unfolding. What is their clear policy? I agree with my brother. They should have at least started 122, pending the 133. Today, nothing to show. The only economic management implemented by this government is pumping dollars into the system to make the cedi stable. Lazy approach government. Just give time, some time. That's Master Planner. And Musa Sana from Nandom says the president should start paying a surprise visit to project sites and public institutions to see things for himself and also to hear from the local people. Yes, that would be a good thing to do. Akonsi Gariba from Tamale says the IEA poll of President Mahama approval rating has dropped from 68% to 58.9. It's a fact which is long overdue. Unfortunately, the NDC administration has been deceiving Ghanaians about their good management of the economy since when they were voted into power. The NDC gentleman has been inconsistent and confused by saying that the fuel increment is as a result of external factors when the NDC party doesn't believe that the external factors can have an effect on the Ghanaian economy. The NDC should pass the original anti-LGBTQ plus bill into law, period. All right, but thank you very much for sending through your messages to us. We appreciate them, and keep sending your messages and keep engaging with us. And I want to say thank you to my guests who joined me in the studio this morning. Maxwell Ofosu-Boakye, the former municipal chief executive, Swami Municipal Assembly, and then Obed Opintan, he was a member of the government communications. And then we also had on Zoom, joining us on Zoom, Austin Bracco Powers, lawyer and researcher, and Dr. Kwame Asante, who is a political scientist at the University of Ghana. And Newsflash was brought to you by Franco Trading. Franco is your leading mobile phone accessories and electronic retail outlet. Purchase items such as Nokia, Samsung, iPhones, smart TVs ranging from 32 inches to 100 inches. Franco air condition ranging from 1.5 horsepower to 2.0 horsepower and 2.5 horsepower. Chest freezers and refrigerators and all other mobile phone brands and accessories from all their shops nationwide at up to 40% discounted prices on their digital platforms. So call them on the official numbers and take note of the official numbers and stick with the official numbers. 024 642 2338, 055 593 9311, or 0302 225651, or download the new Franco Trading app, Franco, on Google Play Store. You can visit their website at francotrading.com. Franco Trading phone, Papa Fie.